Welcome to Goodnight, Robin, your someone to say goodnight to. I'm your host, Robin Rice. Tonight's episode is sponsored by me at robinrice.com. And in particular tonight, I want to tell you about my work as a thinking partner. I'm so excited that in my life, I've had the opportunity to work with truly some of the most brilliant minds in the world. But I also work with people who would never say that about themselves. And I'm a thinking partner, thinking through your life, thinking through your business, thinking through the ways that you appear in the world through social media, thinking through a social change project or a podcast like Goodnight, Robin. You know, even the greatest minds, they get stuck in the quagmires and the eddies of their own thought processes. And even those who are closest to us, and sometimes especially those who are closest to us, can't really get beyond the vision of who we are right now. Well, I don't limit myself to that. I like to see who you are, who you're going to be, who you are meant to be, all of those kinds of things. I go deep into that process as part of our thinking partner work. At the moment, I have a sale on for the winter, so you can get a reduced rate for 1 or 3 sessions with me. Go to robinrice.com and click on Thinking Partner under the Mentor tab. The link is also in the show notes. Today I was listening to an Elton John record. Yes, I like records, so LP 33, an Elton John record that the song Norma Jean was on. And you probably know that about loneliness was tough, the toughest road you ever played. Fame was the price you paid. And I was thinking about that. And I'm in a position where I actually work with people who you might consider famous. Most people do. And I can tell you for sure, absolutely, that they do not escape loneliness. In fact, they have their own kind of loneliness. And I think of Princess Diana and how Elton John changed that song to England's Rose and sang it at her funeral, which has something like, the YouTube video has something like 10 million views of that clip, that song. Freddie Mercury, when I think of him, and I have his album as well from Bohemian Rhapsody, the movie, and the loneliness of Elton John in his early days. All of these people experience loneliness. So if you think you're lonely because you don't have people who love you, they had so many people who love them. If you think you're lonely because you're spending your time alone, they often spent time, some of their darkest hours alone. Obviously, Norma Jean died in difficult circumstances. I just think of all of this, and I think that you're not alone in your loneliness. It's a human condition. It's part of the experience of being here, and we can change it. And maybe we have to change it. Maybe we have to take actions that move us out of our loneliness. But I also think that part of our loneliness is meant to help us really search inside ourselves, to go inside and say, who am I? And who do I want to be? And nothing outside of us, no fame, no fortune, no car, no anything is going to relieve us. If fame shows us anything, it's not going to relieve us from that journey that we have to take. And sometimes we take it alone. Sometimes we take it with someone else. Maybe it's a therapist, or maybe it's a friend, or maybe it's a coworker, or, if you're lucky, it's the people that you spend your life with. But either way, the bottom line is it's going to be you. It's going to be me. It's going to be our inner self. And it is a lonely journey sometimes, and doesn't always have to feel lonely, but sometimes it is. And so every one of us has to look inside and say, well, who am I? Who do I want to be? And instead of what do I want to have, which is what kind of the world teaches, I suggest, what do I want to give? What do I want to amplify, that's in the world already? If you're not a creator type, there's a lot of people who are creator types and they make something and we admire them. But they would be nowhere without people who shared. This very podcast is where it is today already because of people sharing it. That's how it works. Again, I could be talking into the wind, but people sharing. And that's important no matter what it is you're sharing. Share what it is that matters to you. But you have to know yourself in order to know what you want to share. You have to know yourself to know what you want to create or amplify or just talk about and bring to others in whatever way you do. All of that begins with this deeper inner journey. You and I are going to probably talk about this, for eons to come if this podcast keeps going, because that's really, that's my wheelhouse, is this deeper inner journey that we have. And loneliness, you probably heard me say, nobody soul searches on a good day. Loneliness brings us to this place where we're willing to look, and we have to look to move forward. I've been thinking about Princess Diana and Norma Jean and Elton John and Freddie Mercury and the famous people that I know, and the journey that all of us are on, no matter what our outside circumstances. So I just wanted to share that with you tonight. I hope it encourages you to know you're not alone, and there isn't going to be anything out there that takes you away from this inner journey, no matter who you are. I think that's actually encouraging. It's just the human condition. We can do that. I know we can do that. Those are my thoughts for you tonight, my friend. I hope you sleep beautifully. Good night.